Coming to you via the virtual airwaves from the Big Easy in Louisiana, bringing you his philosophy and insight on life. Please welcome your host, Padre Piper.
That's some groovy music, ain't it, folks? YTPC, Padre, coming to you via the virtual airwaves of YouTube, saying, well, hey there, YouTube Pipe community. Welcome to the inaugural edition of a little something I'm calling Padre and Pals. Would you believe I actually have a pal? Just one. One pal so far. He agreed to come on the virtual airwaves with me, and I think you guys might know who this cat is. Would you like to meet him? Because I sure would like for you to meet him. Let's go ahead and do it. Maybe. I got to push a button. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to my pal, Sergeant Savinelli. Sarge, you with us?
I'm here.
We are blessed to have you, man. This is kind of exciting. You know, I'm trying out some new technology. I have no clue what I'm doing, but that's some groovy music. Can you hear that music?
I can. I like that music. Groovy.
It's kind of a New Orleans feel to it, you know, because down here in the Big Easy, that's what we do. You know, we all walk around all year round wearing long Mardi Gras beads and approaching beautiful women on balconies and asking them to show their tan.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we get a lot of sunlight down here. Sarge, how the heck are you?
I'm here. Surviving. Living the dream here.
Where's here? Remind me.
Here is in the not so lovely state of Connecticut.
Connecticut. Now, okay, so down here in the Big Easy, oh gosh, we're hitting, 100 degrees today or so. If it doesn't cloud over and give us some rain. What's the weather like where you are?
Right now we're sitting at about 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies.
That's bearable. How's the humidity?
Not too for that. Like hot and humid, so.
Yeah. You know, I think for most of us down here in the Gulf South, we have humidity envy for folks who don't like, you know, get 100% humidity during the day. So, hey, listen, let's do some house cleaning, and then to do a proper introduction of you, the folks kind of need know a little something about you. So I'm going to ask you some questions in a moment, but let's do a little house cleaning, shall we? What you got going? And I'll share what I've got going. You go first, my guest.
Absolutely. Well, when you called me and told me that we were going to do this, I've been thinking hard and long about what I was going to use, what I was going to smoke. And so my final solution was a Savinelli 673 with some haunted bookshop in it in honor of our dear departed master, who I have no doubt he was still here with us, sitting in this chair right here next to me while we did that.
Wouldn't that have been cool? Wouldn't that have been cool?
It would have been real cool.
Yeah.
It would have been real cool.
Well, you know, I like to think that he's got the laptop in the sky open right now, and he's with us in spirit. So I've also got a little bowl loaded up here. This is the Peterson. This is the Christmas pipe from 2018. This is compliments of Phil over at Briar Report. He did a giveaway that year, and I was blessed to be able to actually sponsor that giveaway over here on my channel. So I've got this loaded up today with something that ain't there no more. And I'll tell you, man, I'm on a quest to try and figure out how I can recreate this blend. And I got a step closer because I realized there's something in here that I hadn't identified until last week. The blend that I'm talking about is Short Cuts to Mushrooms by Just For Him. And what I have discovered is in here is the thing that has made my heart pound, that gives it that extra nick. And it's the dark, strong Kentucky with that kind of black Cavendish and a hint of Latakia. So I'm going to go ahead and blaze it up. Copious amounts of smoke, too. You gotta love that. You just gotta love it.
Me being outside, I'm doing this thing regularly. So
you're outside.
Yeah, the humidity's wreaking havoc with the mic.
You know, what's crummy is your sound was breaking up a little bit there. I hope that's not an issue that we're going to have throughout this little time together. But if I ask, yeah, I can hear you fine, nice and loud there. But it was a little breakup, almost like we were losing a signal here. You know, hey, this is the drawback of this modern technology. Is sometimes the satellites are passing over at the wrong time or something, you know? And so if I ask you to repeat something, Sarge, that's going to be why. Just because might have been a little bit of an internet issue.
No worries.
So here's what we're going to do. I want my viewers, who I know probably most of them are your viewers as well. There's a big amount of overlap in the YTPC, which is a wonderful thing because it's filled with some really, really neat people. But I want to ask you a few basic interview questions. Why don't we, for kicks and giggles, we'll call this little segment 10 questions, and we're gonna dig deep into the psyche of who Sergeant Savinelli truly is, so that the folks out in the YTPC have a real good feeling for you. In fact, I've even got some special interview music, so we're gonna go ahead and all right, here we go. You ready? First question, Sarge.
Ready?
Boxers or briefs?
You mean now?
Your choice, brother. If
All right,
Commando's a good answer too.
All right. So when I was, but now my ears hang low, so boxer briefs.
There you go. All right. A nice hybrid, not unlike Shortcuts to Mushrooms. All right. Question number 2. Say that again?
I never heard of that blend, by the way.
Shortcuts to Mushrooms? This was a part of the Middle Earth series that was done by Just for Him. And they continue with that series. But this is no longer in the lineup. My assumption is because something in here is from McClellan's. But everything potentially is replaceable. So that's why I'm on this quest to figure out how I can get close to it.
Got it.
All right, question number 2. Man bun or mullet? You don't have an answer for that, do you?
Well, I have an answer for it, but I don't know if I can do it. So I will be polite and I will say this: if those are my only choices, Vic Razor would be the answer.
Razor. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So, question number 3. Sergeant Savinelli, if suddenly you were arrested for no reason and your face was flashed all over the news, what would your family and friends assume that you did?
Probably beat the hell out of some punk picking a kid or an older person.
I have to ask a follow-up. It doesn't count against my 10. Are you barefisted or are you using weaponry here?
Oh no, barefisted would be the best solution because there's no better get into it than with your bare fists.
I hear you. All right. Here's a really deep one for you, okay? I want you to give a lot of thought to this now. You're stranded on an island for the rest of your life with only one other person. And that person has to be a woman from Gilligan's Isle. Is it Ginger, Mary Ann, or Mrs. Thurston Howell III?
Oh, Mary Ann, without a doubt.
Mary Ann? I mean, you didn't even miss a beat in answering that one.
No. We've had discussions with the YTPC before about this.
But you see, with Lovey, you would at least have money, which is absolutely worthless. That's right.
With it.
Yeah, desert island, so the money's worthless. You're going with the cute farm girl from the Midwest, Mary Ann. Why wouldn't you choose Ginger? I mean, she's a. How do you know that? Just because she's hot?
Look.
All right. I've lost track of numbers here. Let me give you another one. You've been given a lifetime ban from the public library, Sarge. Why is that? Inquiring minds want to know.
I'm going to go back to 2 questions ago and give the same answer. Probably because I throttled the crap out of some punk that was bothering people in the library.
I'll give you an A for effort, if not a C for creativity. You seem to have a theme going here. All right, I'm going to give you one more. All right, you haven't heard this question yet. You can make one of your body parts detachable without any negative repercussions. What body part would it be and why?
Huh. My head.
You want your head to be detachable.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow up. Why your head? Why should your head be detachable, Sarge?
So can you imagine taking your disembodied head and sticking it around a corner and scaring the living shit out of somebody?
Actually, I can't imagine you doing that. Yeah, so the answer is yes. It's imaginable, but certainly for you. All right.
I feel like a pain and headless horseman, you know?
Exactly. Well, congratulations. You've made it through the interview round of the questionings here on Padre and Pals, the inaugural edition. And as the first ever guest on this program, who knows? If we don't get past episode 1, the only guest on this program, you get a consolation prize of some sort. I don't know, man. I'll say a prayer for you. That's your prize. What's that?
I done good.
You passed. Yeah, you done good. You done real good. You done good. So tell me what Sarge has been up to these days.
Sarge has been busier than a one-armed paper hand, as always.
Mm-hmm.
My schedule is moving target constantly. And with all of the nonsense going on in the world today, it's just gotten...
Yeah, there's a lot of nonsense going on in the world today. There's no doubt about that. And I don't know the specifics of your community. I'm assuming you're not probably in one of the craziest parts of the nation, but you are on the front lines even when things aren't crazy. And so certainly we do offer prayers for your safety and the safety of all your brethren who keep us safe. So appreciate that, and a big thank you to that, sir. But you've got a day off today. Is that correct?
I do. I was off last night, and I'm off tonight.
Awesome. What's a typical day off for Sarge? Walk us through it. Tell us. Inquiring minds want to know about this. I'm curious. What do you do on your day off besides walking around with a wonderful Panama hat and a bowl of Hornet Bookshop and looking ever so dapper?
This is my lucky hat, by the way.
What's lucky about it?
It's lightning proof.
Do tell.
Yeah.
You've never been struck by lightning while wearing it?
I've never been hit by lightning while wearing it. So,
Awesome. So typical day off.
Yeah, typical day off. I get up about, I don't know, whenever I get up. And I putz around in the garden.
You're a gardener.
Oh, yeah, maybe clean the pool. Jump in the pool, maybe. Even on the day off, there's work involved. Because in addition to being, what I do, I'm also the union president. So that never runs. 24/7. My phone blows up. Especially now. What I bring me lunch. Have a little lunch. Maybe have a cigar or two in the summertime. This is unusual. The pipes just don't go as well as cigars for me in the summertime.
For some reason, your audio is breaking up on me again. But you say now the was perfect, but you were saying it's unusual. I could read between the lines, but I could read between the. It's unusual. You're more of a cigar guy in the summer. Is that what you were saying?
In the summer, yeah.
Yeah, why
That's
is
exactly
that?
The palate changes. Come September, I'll be craving these things.
Yeah.
Right now, it was a struggle to light one of these up.
Really? When was the last time you had a pipe?
March.
Wow. So once spring's over with, you're done with the pipe. You move to the cigars.
Yeah, as soon as the weather changes. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you were in my neck of the woods last year, right around this time, I think, month of July,
August.
And it was August. Okay.
Yeah.
And you were down here for a convention, and you said that you're the union president of your what is it, the fellowship, what is that called? Fraternal.
The fraternal. Yeah.
Fraternal Order of Police.
Yeah, the FOP. Yeah.
FOP, and that's the convention you were attending in New Orleans last year.
Yeah, it was actually the national election, so it was a big conference.
And were you running for a national office?
No, not national office. I'm a local president of my lodge.
Gotcha.
Here, where I work.
Yeah.
But last year was the year for national election. So my union set me down there for that.
So you were a voting delegate representing your lodge and your union.
Correct.
Yeah. And what did you think of it down here in New Orleans? Because you got together with Mark VV and I and smoked a pipe. I didn't have a pipe at that time that you were in because I was having some dental stuff done. It was just a real pain in the butt. Glad to have that behind me. But what did you think of our oppressive heat and humidity and pipe smoking? Because it's what we deal with all the time down here.
So if it was like that all the time, I think I could deal with it. However, I did discover the cigar factory. Not the one on Bourbon Street, the one down the corner, the road it was on. The big one. Where they
the cigar factory?
Yeah.
See, you were breaking up again on me. Goodness gracious. The cigar factory, where they do the hand rolling. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
You actually posted a video on that, didn't you?
I did.
What is it?
Now,
Go ahead.
The owner's name was Frank. And I need to call Frank because I'm out of those cigars and I love them.
Now, was Frank rolling them, or was there a beautiful Cuban woman rolling them, or some guy named Ralph?
He had 3 Cuban guys rolling them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think the only thing that could make that better would be a beautiful Cuban woman, but maybe
Right.
I might be a little biased in that way. But so you picked up some stogies that you brought home, and over the course of the year, you have now gone through those and need to get back in touch with Frank to get some more.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
And what is it you like in a cigar? I was a pipe guy, then I became more of a cigar guy, and then I came back to the pipe, and I still do an occasional cigar, and I like a milder cigar with a nice sweet Maduro wrapper. One of my favorites is, in fact, the Macanudo Maduro. What is it
Okay.
you look for in a cigar?
Depends on the time of day. Depends on what I eat. Depends on what I'm drinking. There's a lot of variables. Early in the morning, what I call breakfast cigar, I like a more medium body, mild to medium bodied cigar. Doesn't matter if it's light wrapper or lunchtime after I had something to eat, probably a medium to full, and then after a good dinner, definitely a stronger, full-bodied cigar. I like a good, strong cigar.
Yeah,
It usually goes along.
When I was in the mood for something meatier than a Macanudo, I would go to Rocky Patel's. The problem with some of those Rocky Patel's is unless you have put like a side of beef in you before you consume one, they'll make you a little green under the gills. Tends to be a stronger cigar.
Yep. Yep.
But what you're saying as a cigar guy, at least half of the year, I guess I'm more of a minimal cigar guy and a full-time pipe guy, but it seems like it's the same sort of thing. As the weather and climate changes or as the day shifts, you have a different kind of palate for a different kind of tobacco during that time. And I would bet go ahead.
No different with a pipe. Pipe's the same thing. On
Right.
a colder day, I like a heavy lot of Kia,
And but here it is, summertime, and you chose to go with a burley, pretty stout burley, no less. Are you not a Virginia guy?
I became a Virginia guy last year, where I was smoking a ton of different Virginias, great Virginia, and big Virginia blend. Part of that was your fault because you gave me that Sun Bear, that thing. And I fell in love with that Sun Bear, of course, because you can't get it. And another one that I had, I can't remember. But I like Virginia Flakes, Virginia Twist. I've delved into the slices, Virginia blends like Orion Arrow and Morning Bayou, great blend.
Yeah. So that Sun Bear though, that really that scratched an itch for you, huh?
Scratched an itch. That created a whole new habit. Thanks.
And that was gosh, if I'm not mistaken, and you were breaking up, I think, but you might have said that if I'm remembering, that's a small batch, so you can't get it anymore.
Right. That was a Cornell and Deal small. Yep.
Yeah. I hate that about Cornell and Deal. And I'm a sucker. Every time they put something out like that, I got to go grab 3 or 4 tins of it because, it's not going to be there. And, every now and then they hit a home run with, as they did with this one. You're like, I should have bought 12 of those, and I shouldn't have bought any of that goofy, whatever that they put out. Raisin Spice Cake small batch or something really stupid like that,
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, yeah. So you've had a foray into the Virginias, though.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I was a cigarette smoker years and years and years, and gave them up. Stayed with a pipe of cigars, but I've noticed that because a lot of people they smell a pipe and they say, "Oh, it's got a cigarette smell, taste, smell to it." Well, yeah, because it's got tobacco in it. Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one of the things I've noticed is people have a stereotype about pipes too, and everybody expects a pipe to smell like an aromatic. And so if you smoke a Latakia, they're like, what the hell are you smoking? What is that? That's not pipe. What do you have in there?
That.
And I guess that goes back to the olden days when our grandfathers were smoking pipes, and they were probably only smoking half and half in Granger and Carter Hall, and all of those have fairly nice room notes.
Right.
Yeah. Now, let me change. Go ahead.
Pipe the small Captain Black.
Captain, that's exactly right. Boy, I wish, the audio, I'm just so, I wish we would have done a little test run here. I don't know if it's your positioning or if you're on your Wi-Fi or what, but we're just getting shaky audio from time to time with you. But I want to change gears for a moment because there might be a side to you that some folks don't know about that I find fascinating because I share this in my history. And that is that you are a musician.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I make noise.
You make noise, yeah. You're what, a bassist or guitarist?
Guitars and drums.
Guitars and drums, okay.
But I also play the accordion. I play the banjo a little bit. I played the saxophone years gone by, harmonica. You name it, I've played it.
And do you still have a little blues band?
No, not blues. I have a surf band. It's a instrumental surf tribute.
That's it. Surf tribute. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. And are you guys playing out or what's going on with that?
No, we haven't. We did our last show in June of last year. And schedules didn't allow for us to get back together for a while, and then COVID hit, and so we're still in a holding pattern. So we haven't played together since June of last year.
Yeah. Well, COVID has done a number. I still have some very dear friends of mine from when I was younger, and I was in bands and such, and some of them have continued to be musicians, and professional. And down here in New Orleans, it's a great place for music. And I just feel for these guys because New Orleans is just, our mayor has been very I say our, I don't really live in New Orleans proper, but the city next door from where I am, New Orleans, the mayor has been very restrictive with the reopening of bars and nightclubs and such. And I guess for good reason. I'm not saying that to criticize her, but boy, it has crippled our music industry and our musicians who, that's their bread and butter, playing out. And it's hard to put food on the table when you can't do your job.
That's exactly right.
I really feel for them. Now, we're not doing so hot down here in Louisiana. Our numbers have been going in the wrong direction. And so the governor's gotten a little bit more restrictive, and about a week ago or 2 weeks ago instituted a mandated mask in public policy. And so hopefully we can get all that settled over the next few weeks and allow for schools to reopen and such. But I don't know. It's not been good down here in Louisiana. How are things up where you are with the COVID?
We're actually doing pretty good. Our numbers flattened out and going in the direction. We're not in such bad shape. Our governor said to everybody around us, stay out. if anybody comes to Connecticut from out of state, they have to fill out a form, and they have to quarantine for 14 days. And the other day, he actually instituted an enforcement policy where they could be fined $2,000 for violating the travel restrictions.
So if I want to come visit you, I've got to first quarantine myself for 14 days after filling out a form, attesting to my lack of symptoms and all that stuff. And now, who gets fined if that rule gets broken? Is it the traveler, or would you get fined if you harbor me, or how does that work?
No, the traveler themselves would be fined, and that fine actually comes from the health department. So I don't know how that enforcement's going to work. But
say that one more time. You got broken up there. The fine does what now?
The fine comes from the health department, the state health department, not the cop.
Okay.
So
all right.
That's going because the health department. How are they going? How are they going to know? I mean, how? I don't.
That is weird, and it's put the health department in a strange sort of situation too, which is what politicians do all the time. They put people in very strange positions, and that's unfortunate. But by the same token, you can't. I mean, your day is busy enough as a law enforcement officer. You can't run around, throwing handcuffs on people who, broke a mask rule or a travel ban or something. You've got, I don't want to say real crime to fight, but all things considered, the guy selling crack to the school kids and shooting up the neighborhood at night because somebody didn't pay his crack bill probably is a little bit more important to your department than the violator of a mask or a travel policy.
Well, and the whole mask thing. Listen, you walk into the Walmart over here that you can't come in the store unless you're wearing a face mask. Well, that's all well and good, but I think they should have started with pants and bras first.
Now that sounds like a Sarge video right there. Hey, YouTube, that mask is all fine and good, but if you're going to Walmart, you should put pants on first. I could see that as a morning update from Sarge.
Exactly. Everybody's worried about coughing. Somebody coughs, all of a sudden they're worried about COVID. Listen, if I cough, I'm praying not to pee my pants.
And here it begins. Keep going, brother. I'm telling you, this guy not only is a fantastic law enforcement officer, a great musician, but he could be a stand-up. So roll with it, brother. You're on a roll now. Give us what we want.
Listen, I just got distracted because a bumblebee just flew behind me. That thing, I think it had passengers on its back. That thing should not be able to fly. I'm sorry, because it was like this big around, and it threw me off a little bit.
That is both funny and true. That thing shouldn't be able to fly. I see that all the time. I look at Bumblebee, and you look at, and it's kind of like nature didn't tell the Bumblebee, hey, you're not built for this. And so the Bumblebee doesn't know any better. It's inspiring in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the thing woke up one morning and said, oh, look, I got wings, let's fly, and just took off.
There you go. But, I often feel the same way when I'm climbing in a 747. I look around and go, this thing shouldn't be able to fly. And I know there's physics and lift and all. I mean, I don't understand it, but obviously it works most of the time. Right. But it's still, I'll tell you, old Padre doesn't do a whole lot of flying without the help of a Bombay Blue or a Xanax. It's not my idea of a good time. It just became worse when, after 9/11. No, but the whole flying experience just became worse at the airports after 9/11 with security and all that. It's just so anxiety provoking. And I fear that about this COVID thing, that we're introducing stuff into society that we may never get rid of, and as a guy who loves freedom, that frightens me. But I know we also got to balance that with, the protection of the vulnerable and the good of the larger group, you know. So no easy answers for pipe smokers to come up with on that.
No. Charles Dickens said it best in Tale of Two Cities. He said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. And that's true.
That is true. And for those who didn't know, my buddy Sarge is also a philosopher, as you see. Quoting Dickens, no less. You know, I was on Twitter earlier in the week, and Breyer Report Phil was tweeting up quotes from Walt Whitman. Oh, Captain, my Captain. And I thought, you know, that, and I've always found that poem to be really cool and his writings to be really cool. And I'm like, you know, where is that coming from? You know, what's up with that, Phil? Like randomly just throwing up Walt Whitman quotes. And apparently it had something to do with a new fad that's going around in the pipe smoking community called Royal Yacht Thursday. You're not familiar with that one yet, are you?
What's that?
Say that you're not familiar with the Royal Yacht Thursday, are you?
No, they're actually smoking Royal Yacht on Thursday?
Apparently that's the case, because I don't know anybody in our community that owns a Royal Yacht, so I don't think they're riding around on it. So they must be smoking it on Thursday. Why? I don't know, but sounds cool to me. You know, I think next Thursday I'm going to have to pull out my jar of Royal Yacht and get into it. That's a stout blend from what I remember. Got a little kick to it. Got a little kick if I remember. Well, sorry,
I'm losing your audio.
Oh, no. You can't hear me either, huh?
Yeah, you're clicking and popping and...
Well, and it's clearly the internet. If I was smoking Molto Dolce, I would say that the snap, crackle, and pop you heard was the moisture in that blend. But we are quickly approaching our time of conclusion here. Anyway, in fact, there's even some music that goes with our time of conclusion. Sounds a little like that. So as we wrap it up today, do you think that if I could clear up the internet issues, that a program such as this has a shot at being something that folks in the YPTC might be interested in tuning into?
I think so. I think you got something here.
And would you be willing to come back on this program if I can clear up the audio and get you back in here on another time? He gives.
I'm in my head loudly. Yes.
Let me ask you this, putting you on the spot. Who else do you think would be a good guest for a program like this? Like, I got to start recruiting some folks who want to talk to me. Who do you think?
Oh, throw a dart. Anybody would be more than happy to jump on this thing. You get a hold of Ghost Cobb, get a hold of Artful Codge, get a hold of Eric Collar, Pipe Smoker. Anybody.
Eric is such a trip. That guy. You're right. You know, my concept for this is, as I think about it, like, who would I want to sit down and have a pipe with? And since I had the opportunity to sit down with you last summer, I'm like, perfect. You know, this guy is a cut up. He's fun. And Eric Blue Collar Pipe Smoker comes to mind. That guy is so talented with the impersonations he does, with the videos he makes. Artful Codger. That is just, I mean, talk about a guy that you just thoroughly would enjoy sitting down with. And him and Eric, of course, have had the chance to get together. Ghost Cobb's a wonderful fella. Cane Rod Piper comes to mind. I mean, there's just, you're right, throw a dart. There's so many neat guys in our community. What were you saying there? Go ahead. Yep. That's all you were saying. Yep. Well, I guess after this first video airs... what's that? Yeah, I think the audio was bad there.
So we're very fortunate.
Yeah, of course, I keep stepping on you here because now we're getting a little audio delay over the internet. Hey, Al Gore, if you're watching, fix this internet issue for us, please. And we'll just start that music over again since we didn't get out in time. We were supposed to end this segment by the time that song was over, and we didn't get there, Sarge. So, yeah, I think that no one's going to be busting down the door to want to come online with me again. You know who else comes to mind? A younger guy in the community who's got a great show live on Friday evenings, and that's Martin, Over a Pipe. Do you ever watch him?
From where?
Martin from Over a Pipe. He does a live show on Friday evenings. Yeah. I think he's over maybe Texas or something. He reminds me of a young Karl Rove with hair and better looking, of course. Yep. But just another guy I would love to sit down with and have a pipe. And that's the concept of this little Padre and Pals program here, an opportunity to get online for 30 minutes with somebody from the community and have a little fun asking stupid questions and then just shooting a breeze and enjoying a pipe together. So I count it a blessing, my friend, that you, Sir Sergeant Savinelli, our guest number one on Padre and Pals. A little fist pump action there. Anything you want to say before we get out of this program?
Right back at you, Padre.
All right, my friend. Well, we're going to go ahead and close it out. On behalf of Sergeant Savinelli up in Connecticut, down here in the Deep South, this is Padre, and we're wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessing.